beast! Ah!
Welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Megs.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 1982's Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is a Nicolas Cage movie because he is technically in it, but he really, I don't think, has a single line.
He does not.
He does not. He's kind of there. You really only see his face like twice. So this movie is really starring Jennifer Jason Leigh, Judge Reinhold, Robert Romanus, Phoebe Cates, Sean Penn, and Ray Walston. Forrest Whitaker is also an honorable mention in this movie,
Yes.
although he doesn't have a whole lot of screen time. He's the VIP football player, and he's very obsessed with his car. And Eric Stoltz is in here in the movie as well. I think he's one of Spicoli's buddies, Sean Penn's buddies.
Yep.
These are all just regular kids. They're just working at a mall, and we start the movie off at the end of the summer. Everybody's getting ready to go back to school. We follow, for the most part, Stacy and her brother Brad. Stacy works at a pizza place. Brad starts off working at a burger joint. Their brother and sister. Mark works at a theater across the way from the food court at the mall. He has a big crush on Stacy, and his buddy Mike is kind of a sleazebag. He helps people illegally go to concerts. He scalps tickets and things like that. He's also a very sort of like swanky, sort of suave guy, one of those guys. And then Stacy's friend Linda, who is really just obsessed with sex. And we follow them throughout the movie for different places, but the main story is that Mark likes Stacy, but he's too shy. Stacy is 15 and obsessed with getting laid. She tells a customer at the pizza restaurant that she is 19, and they go out, and she loses her virginity to him. After school starts, Mark meets Stacy in biology, and his buddy Mike helps him talk to her one day at the mall. Mark and Stacy do go out, but Mark is really shy, so all they do is make out when they get back to her house. Meanwhile, Brad is trying to figure out how he can break up with his girlfriend, but before he can, he has a really rude customer at work, and he's rude right back, and he gets fired. Then his girlfriend breaks up with him. Mark and Mike go over to Stacy's house one day to go swimming without an invitation while Linda is there. Brad arrives back at the house from work while they're hanging out in the pool. He ends up going to the bathroom and jerking off to Linda in her bathing suit, but she catches him. Stacy moves on and has Mike walk her home one day. She invites him in and suggests that they go swimming. He can wear one of Brad's suits. He keeps them in the pool room that's outside next to the pool. When they get inside of the pool room, they end up having sex, and then Mike ghosts her at school. Stacy ends up pregnant. She tells Mike and asks him to pay for half of it and give her a ride. He agrees to it, but he can't come up with the money and stands her up. Brad ends up taking his sister to a bowling alley that she says she's meeting her friends at, but as he pulls off, he sees that she's running across the street, so he turns around. Stacy has the abortion, and when she leaves the doctor's office, Brad is there waiting for her like a good big brother. He takes her home and swears not to tell their parents. Stacy tells Linda that Mike stood her up, so Linda paints prick on his car and locker, and presumably spreads some kind of gossip about him at the school. Mark confronts Mike. He doesn't know about the baby, but Mike does confess that they slept together, and the two have a bit of a falling out. The school year is coming to an end, and there's a final graduation party at the school. Everyone has a good time, and Mark makes up with Mike. The kids party. Back at the mall, Stacy dreads another summer at the pizza place, but she's also decided she wants a romantic relationship instead of just sex. She calls Mark over from across the mall at the theater. She gives him a picture of her and says to call her this summer and gives him a smooch. One night, Spicoli goes into a convenience store. It's Brad's newest job. After making his purchase, he asks to use the restroom. While he's gone, a robber comes in and holds up the store. He wants what's in the safe, but Brad is new and doesn't remember the procedure. Spicoli comes out and distracts the robber, and Brad throws scalding coffee in his face and gets the gun. He is a hero. The movie ends here with face cards of the main characters and what happened to them. Brad ended up becoming the manager of the store just days after the robbery. Mike got arrested for scalping tickets, and he now works at 7-Eleven. Linda's in college and, unsurprisingly, dating a psychology professor. Mark and Stacy are dating and taking it slow. And Spicoli saved a supermodel and blew all the money hiring Van Halen to play his birthday. The end. I didn't really talk about Spicoli yet because he doesn't really, like, his character doesn't really link up with the story properly, but he is a fun character to watch. He is a surfer dude, and he is chronically late to his history class, and his history teacher, Mr. Hand, is not a fan, and makes a point of constantly humiliating him in front of the class when he's late, including stealing his food. The night before, or the night of the last graduation dance, before Spicoli can get up and, like, go, his teacher comes to his house and sits down with him with the history book, and they go over stuff, and you get the impression that he's actually a pretty smart kid. He just learns differently. All in all, this movie wasn't terrible. It had a pretty decent vibe the whole time. What did you think, Elizabeth?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I had seen scenes for Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I'd never seen the whole movie before.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
It was really good. The base storyline isn't very big, and most of the area is just filled with, like, teenagers interacting with each other like teenagers do, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely very much the kind of feel, like, nostalgic feel of being in high school. I do have one gripe about it, though.
What's that?
I just think that it's one thing to make movies about teenagers going through teenage things, and they talk about the things that they do. But when you make a movie that is, and I know that these are all adults, but they're portraying children, I'm really not okay with actors that are supposed to be portraying children being naked.
Yeah.
It has always skeeved me out. I don't know why that's an element that filmmakers think is needed when movies like this are made, because I don't know. I don't know.
You're not wrong. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Seeing Jennifer Jason Leigh fully naked is something you should really have to wait for.
She's supposed to be 15 at the time of this movie.
Look, all I can say is 1982 is a different time.
I know, but it still happens today. Like, Euphoria is I mean, I'm sure some people have seen, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a TV show about teenagers on drugs and having sex. And I don't know, it still happens. Like, it was a different time, and I get it, but it's still a thing that occurs. So that kind of skews me out. But otherwise, I actually really liked the movie. It wasn't, even though it had some, like, sort of heavy themes to the plot, it wasn't overly a heavy movie. It was pretty
No.
The soundtrack is amazing.
The soundtrack is baller.
What was your favorite part?
It's gonna sound weird because it's a weird scene, but I really love the scene where he's masturbating to Phoebe Cates.
Oh.
And she walks in on him.
Judge Reinhold is such an awkward young person.
He's such a weird human.
Yeah, he really is. But, like, also such a good character. Like, he was such a good character.
Yeah.
Brad is a good character. He just wants to be a successful, like, businessman. Like, he just wants to, you know, probably we don't know what his parents do, but probably follow in his dad's footsteps, like, make something of himself, that American dream sort of, you know, push to him. So he's fun. Jennifer Jason Leigh is a lot of fun in this movie.
She's great. She is great in everything, but she's really good at this.
Yeah. So it's nice to see, you know, the beginning, and, like, the beginning of so many of their careers, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was just, it's a pretty good movie.
Let's talk about Cage.
I don't know if we can, like...
He's in 2 scenes. One scene, he is putting a kick me sign on a kid. It's a sign that says, "I am a homo," on a kid's back. And the next scene we see him in, he's working at the burger joint with Brad. And Amazon, I watched this on Amazon, and their X-ray feature tells me that his name is simply Brad's Bud.
Yeah. So, like, he doesn't even have a character name.
No, and he has no speaking lines. But is this the first time that he's credited as Nicolas Cage instead of Coppola?
No, he was credited as Coppola.
Okay.
Let me see. So yeah, he was Nicholas Coppola in this movie. Let's see, when did he stop? It was definitely like right around this time. I think this was the last movie that he was credited as Nicholas Coppola, because it was only a TV movie called The Best of Times and then Fast Times. He was uncredited in The Outsiders.
Ah.
And then after that was Valley Girl, which is when he started going by Cage.
Okay. So, what would we rate this movie?
I mean, I'd probably give it a B plus.
All right, I could live with a B plus.
I don't really think that we have enough to give Cage a score, if I'm being honest. I kind of feel like it's just null.
Our Cagey score is null.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, it's the earliest of his work, so it's, it is what it is. I mean, it's a good movie. It's just there's not a whole lot of substance to it.
Yeah, it's very surface.
It's incredibly surface. Most of it is just very like fun to watch. Like you're kind of just watching like the rampant chaos of being a teenager. Like everybody's a mall rat. Everybody's obsessed with, whatever their hormones are driving them to do. Jeff Spicoli's character, he is good friends with Forrest Whitaker's character's brother. So they're like driving around one night and like smoking a joint and they end up getting into a car accident. But like it's 1982. So the car is a fucking tank because it's made out of goddamn steel. And like they're both fucking fine. Right?
Right.
And he's like, oh my God, my brother's going to kill me. And Jeff's like, no. My dad, he fixes, I don't remember what he said. He's like, he's got
TVs,
a wide range.
He's a TV repairman.
TV repairman, that's what it is. He's like, I can fix it. And turns out like him just fixing it was driving it to the school and parking it in front of the like front doors. Because it just so happens to be the game day of their big game against their rival high school. And he's just put graffiti all over it to make it look like the other school did it. So I think they won the football game because of that. So it's a lot of just chaotic like children, but there's not a whole lot of like subplot really. Sean Penn is actually really good in this movie, but he just kind of floats around. He's not really connected to anybody or anything.
Right.
He's just a stoner that's actually pretty smart and frustrates his history teacher.
And Ray Walton is amazing.
Yes, Ray Walton is Mr. Hand. Yeah, and like when he shows up at Spicoli's house and he's like, I estimate that you've wasted like 8 hours of my time this school year, and that's being generous. So here's the history book. Like, we're going to go and like talk about it. So, I mean, like it's a good movie. It's worth the watch. It's just, there's not a whole lot of substance there. It stylistically is just very 80s. It was written by Cameron Crowe, who, I mean, Vanilla Sky, just so many prolific movies. But yeah, it's really just, there's not a lot to talk about in it. It's just it's not something that's more cerebral like John Hughes, which is usually very intimate sort of situations with like a small group of characters, and you don't have like a very noisy, chaotic, backdrop with random characters that pop up that have speaking lines that we don't really know. But it's a fun movie. It's definitely not heavy. It's definitely a feel-good movie.
And it's a quintessential 80s movie.
It really is. That soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So, I mean, I would definitely give it a watch. Again, we found a B+ for it. We're going to give Cage no score. It's just going to be null. He's just not in it enough. But if you like what we're doing and you want to follow along with us, we do have social. We're on Instagram at Not the Beast Pod. You can also get access to our Discord and early release of episodes on our Patreon at patreon.com/notthebees. And if you want to drop us a couple of bucks, help us support what we're doing, we would love it if you would do that as well. But otherwise, I don't have anything else, so I think we're just going to end it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been Megs.
I've been Elizabeth.
We'll see you next time, kids.